Hey Greg and Sylvia, Grant here. So I have this soil probe which has a blade at the end, okay? And you end up sticking it down to the ground, and when you stick that down to the ground, you put your weight on top of it. It shows you how many inches of topsoil you have. So I stuck it around your property. The front yard is good. It's on a slope, so it's easier for the builder just to add topsoil. The backyard, this is where we removed all the ledge, remember? So essentially they put the minimal amount of topsoil in the back. Specifically in this area right here. You only have about 1.5 to 2 inches of topsoil. Grass roots, to be really healthy, are like 4 inches deep. So this area is just going to be a little bit more of a high maintenance area. You might consider, I would probably go through this summer, because this summer I bet you this area is going to need quite a bit of water. But you also got to be careful, right? Because the area is somewhat flat, so it doesn't really drain that well. But just so you know, this area back here is going to be the most difficult area to keep it looking as good as possible, just because you have a lack of topsoil. You could top dress with leaf compost, so you're basically adding organic matter down into the soil, which has a lot of benefits to the lawn and whatnot. So you could consider that, but I wait until the fall. The other issue is the lawn maintenance. So they have to cut the grass taller than what they're cutting it, so it's too short. So they should really cut it no less than 3 inches tall. Okay, if they cut it too short, then you're going to have a lawn that's going to look a lot worse. Plus, the other issue is when they weed whack, especially in the front next to the Belgian block along the driveway, they're scalping the lawn. Basically, it means they're cutting it too short. And when they do that, it kills the grass. So that's where you get the weeds that are going to want to try to start growing along the Belgian block. And a lot of that's from the damage from the weed whacker cutting it too short. So you got to really get on top of the lawn mowing guys, explaining to them that they can't weed whack it too short and they can't cut it too short. You'll see that, for example, here as well. See how there's no lawn? That's from taking the weed whacker and weed whacking it too short. I would make them use only a push mower to go through this area. Don't weed whack it. Use a push mower. That's what I have my guys do on some properties that we cut the grass. And and by doing that, it makes it so they don't cut it too short. Okay. Same thing over there. Again, these areas, we could perhaps give you a price for doing some spring seeding. So end up, roughing up the soil and seeding along that ridge, along the edges, edge of the driveway. The other thing they have to be careful is about not turning the tires too sharply on the lawnmower. So if they turn on a dime without taking 3-point turns, they're going to make divots in your lawn. So that's the other thing to point out. But yeah, overall, it's just too short. You're asking why the lawn might grow faster and look healthier from the sod. And my feeling is that the roots from this lawn came from a sod farm, and they're probably deeper and healthier than the roots that are growing in your backyard. Because again, you have lack of soil back here. Okay, so, and plus they're on a different fertilizing program. So these were probably given more nitrogen, and when they got to the property, they already had all these nutrients and nitrogen and fertilizer, and this lawn, not as much so. So that's the thought. Other thing you could decide to do, because the soil is very compacted back here, when I take my soil probe and I stick it down into the ground, it's very difficult to stick it down, and it only goes about 2 inches. On compacted lawns like this, you might decide that you want to just core aerate and seed the whole lawn this spring as well as this fall. All right. Or alternatively, you only do the really bad spots this spring, which are like here, going along this side, the shady area on this side and that side of the house, just the bare spots. So you could do the whole lawn, or you could do just the bare spots. So that's it. So anyway, I just wanted to come here and show you that. I'll send in a sample, a soil sample in here. I'll send that into the state, check out your pH level, and see what else is going on if you have any other deficiencies in the soil. And we'll take it from there.